What's up, Josh? What's going on?
Saw, dude.
Saw, dude. That's a saw, dude. Saw, dude. Penguins lost again.
Yep.
Well, I guess we should probably do our intro that we always do.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I got the pinwheel of playoff odds updated for you. So.
Oh, can't wait to get into it. But hello. Welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name is Louie.
My name is Josh.
Oh, and we're two brothers who absolutely love talking about hockey.
Especially these joyous Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins playoffs hopes. Going up, going down. Probably going down. The Penguins lose in overtime in shootout against the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's right. That Columbus Blue Jackets. The one we dominated last game on Thursday. Yeah. We lost in overtime. Sidney Crosby got a point, though. So we're excited about that. But before we talk about that, before we get into it, I just want to say thanks for joining us. Whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, or X, formerly known as Twitter, thank you so much for joining us. Or if you're listening to a later date and you said, you know what, I need to put something on the car ride to work. Just want to hear a bunch of two joyous people talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Well, thank you. Thank you for listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Now, the Pittsburgh Penguins, their hopes for the playoffs are getting very slim. At least we got a point. Armand in the chat says, at least we got a point. And that's something we could take away. Josh, before we get into this episode, let's break it down. Yesterday, we were at a 2.9% chance of making the playoffs. I shared it on Twitter. We are cup bound. Okay, there is still time to get in it. Josh, on our episode on Thursday, has stated publicly he believes that his percentage, chance of getting Jake Gensel in the offseason is 2.5%.
Yeah.
He said our playoff hopes are less than that. But as we know, it grew yesterday, 2.5. But we lost in overtime. Josh, what's our current status right now?
Yeah, so it's interesting because
it went up.
They update it every single day, right? So yesterday we were at 2.9. This morning, as of before puck drop on Saturday, March 30th, we're at a 3.2%.
Stop it right now, Josh. We're up there. We out here. Now we still gained a point. So can't wait for tomorrow. Speaking of, happy Easter, everyone. Hold on. I was just saying happy Easter. Relax.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Go ahead.
There is a nice little feature here.
What's the little feature, Josh?
They have approximate projections on outcomes of games.
Oh, no.
So,
like the win-o-meter?
So if we were to win tonight, our chances would have climbed to 4.35 if we won in overtime.
But if we lost in overtime, Josh, where'd it go?
Yeah, it went all the way down to 1.89.
All right. Yeah. That was lower. That was lower than the 1.9.
Yeah.
That's rough. So the Pittsburgh Penguins are back where we started 2 games ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Penguins are not making the playoffs, okay?
I know.
I told you. Josh, I know you know this, but for the hopefuls, like me. All right, all the hopefuls. I thought we were going to make it. I thought we were going to have this push. Hey, and I told you we could win against Columbus both times. We could go win against New York Rangers, get another one against the Devils, and we're in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But the Penguins had to lose in overtime because Chris Letang just has been the worst defenseman in the entire world.
Yeah.
Okay. And I fear for his safety coming up on he is making signing autographs at the new Dick's opening, the new Dick's House of Sport
Yes.
in the Ross Parks Mall. I went there today. Let me just tell you, it is incredible. Okay. It is 2 stories. It is crazy. I was gonna say a sentence there that could be clipped that would make it look really weird. Not gonna say that. What I am gonna say is that Chris Letang, for the grand opening, is going to be signing autographs. Okay, signing autographs there. I think he should cancel. I honestly think he should cancel.
He'll be fine.
Fine. There's security there, but
of course there'll be 1 or 2 stooges, but I mean it'll be mainly kids.
I'm sure people will walk by and go, "Oh, you suck," and he's gonna be like, "All right, I knew that's coming."
Next.
Next. All right, dude. I make $7 million a year, buddy. Just keep on walking.
Yeah.
Buy your pickleball paddles and move on. So
I know all of the Dicks got renovated. Does yours have
this is brand new
rock? Yeah, or ours just got upgraded too. Does it have like a rock climbing wall?
It has a rock climbing wall and a soccer field outside.
Oh, sick. That's cool.
So the whole goal of it is to have like tournaments there for kids.
That's cool.
Which is pretty dope. But it was brand. It was just built, so it wasn't there before. It wasn't like it was renovated, brand new. And it's attached to the mall. A lot of people at the mall today. I got this nice Red Sox hat there. I sent you a picture, Josh.
Yeah, I saw it when you I saw it when you texted me during the game. Okay. I was like, he's definitely no longer there, so I'm not.
I'm not there. But they have everything, which is really cool. Usually, if you're anywhere regional, they don't have anything else for anyone.
Yeah.
Obviously, Boston. I'm in Pittsburgh, so nice to find a Boston hat. Nice to find Tennessee Titans stuff there. So if you're there visiting,
with the
lot with the throwbacks. One Viking hat though, and it was a woman's hat. So. What's that all about? Don't know. Come on, Dicks, get it together. But I'm just saying it's pretty impressive. It's awesome. I give it 2 thumbs up, which will give me fireworks. Yep. I honestly liked it. And that was my highlight of the day today. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. Sidney Crosby getting the point, Josh. That was my highlight. Because I have come to the realization that obviously the Penguins will not make the playoffs this year. Most likely, half of those players on that roster most likely will not be back next season. I'll say a quarter of those players won't be back. Who knows what the coaching staff will be? But here's one thing that I know for sure. Sidney Crosby's getting those 3 remaining points by the time the season is ending, and he will tie Wayne Gretzky for a point per game per season. Okay. Yeah. And that's 19. Mm-hmm. And he will do that. He will tie Wayne Gretzky. And that I do not care. So if I'm Coach Sullivan right now, we all know we're done for the playoffs. We all know tonight was kind of the nail in the coffin, right? There's no more turning the pages. The book is closed. Mathematically, there's no way.
Well, as long as it doesn't say 0, there's always a way.
Okay, well, there's no way. Because there's a 1% chance, Josh.
Yeah.
We all thought it was going to be 100% this offseason, this last offseason. But that's okay. That is okay. We live and we learn. But But if I'm the coach, I'm going in that locker room tomorrow and just saying, guys, our new game plan, get Sidney Crosby the puck.
Give the ball to the Italians. Yep.
Give the ball to the Canadian. Let him figure it out. That's all I care about. Honestly, let him have a multi-point night against New York Rangers on Monday and just let him ride it out. Let it
Any
just
of these upcoming games being nationally televised? Monday, Tuesday?
Josh, is a great question because he balls out when there's some extra cameras in the arena. He tends to ball out, Josh.
Yep.
Hold on.
Especially, he knows that he's close.
He knows.
So,
come on.
He's going to want to.
I know you. I know you know that I know you.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
Is that from Psych?
Oh, Josh, it's Dodgeball. No.
Where is it? Where's that? Where's that scene in Dodgeball?
When he the Czech who's the, or is it the Czech, or is Vince Vaughn in the office of Ben Stiller, who's and he goes, come on, I know you, you know me, I know that you know that I know you. Oh no, I know you.
Yeah.
You know you. You know that I know that you know that I know you.
That's when like they like had like their first like not
interaction.
Encounter. Yeah, but like
when he said,
the gym.
Sell me your gym, and he goes,
yes.
No, I think there's a chance, and he goes, come on, I know you. Yeah. You know me. You know you. Yeah, I keep on screwing it up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, Sid knows that there's going to be cameras in the
but you
arena.
Said no?
No, the Rangers and the Devils game are Sportsnet Pittsburgh. So,
I guess because it's Monday, Tuesday. Maybe if it was like a Friday, Saturday.
Maybe. I
but
love
then,
this.
But then we don't. But then we don't play until Thursday, right?
No.
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's busy.
Yeah. He'll get it this week.
I think so. If anything, against the Capitals, I feel like he'll get some goals there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we go Rangers, Devils, Capitals, and then Lightning,
which is a day game, and Sid always balls out during the day game.
Yeah, apparently. Did you see that stat of the last day game? Like Yager was there, and they were talking about he like leads the league all time in points during day games. It's like some crazy. It's like 700 something points, and apparently he was like, I like to sleep, and on day games you literally just go from like sleep to the game, like
you wake up and you just go to the game. Yeah, that's kind of nice though. That's kind of nice.
That's why, he liked it. So
yeah, and then he gets to sleep early. You know,
exactly.
Then the night of, you're just like, I'll go to bed at 9. I've been up a lot. Anyway, let's just hope Sidney Crosby keeps this point streak going. I think he will. I think he'll continue to do so. And he'll tie. That's the only thing I'm rooting for every single game. Whenever he gets the puck on his stick, I'm just like, come on.
Yeah. If he doesn't have it, it's like where.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He has it. Shoot the puck, Sid. You know.
Absolutely.
Like that assist to Russ tonight is just phenomenal.
That play
I don't
beautiful.
And all I cared about, Russ scored, but I was like, Sid gets a point. Like I tweeted, I was like, and Sid with the assist. Just want to make sure
O'Connor's goal, I was like, okay, who was on the ice? Was
Crosby
a part of that?
Well, I was like Crosby was on the ice, but he changed late, and it was defenseman to Rust to.
Yeah, I think it was Pedersen.
O'Connor. Yeah,
Pedersen
and I was like,
to.
Dang it! I thought it was Rust who passed him. I was like, 2 more points. That's all he needs. 2 more points. Like as soon as that happens, he's automatically in the conversation for greatest of all time. point per game, 19
He should
seasons.
be already. If
No,
he's
I
not already,
know.
you need to check.
But
You need to check the game.
my point is they now have like a stat. Because Sid is nowhere near Wayne in goals or assists.
He's up there in points.
But he's up there in points.
Overall
Yes.
points, yeah.
But he's never going to touch him. You know, like never. So my thing is he has now a statistic touching Wayne Gretzky. So like it's like you can't deny him he could, he could be better, so
the GOAT conversation, sure.
Yeah, because like everything with LeBron and Jordan, LeBron could touch Jordan's stats.
He's passed them all.
Right, my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Sid can't. He can't touch Wayne's stats. Yeah. Now, granted, you can't compare LeBron and Michael Jordan to Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky because there is not one sport, maybe besides football, not even,
I know where you're going, but
that has changed so much from back then to now. Because remember, goaltenders were terrible back then. Now they are literally unbeatable. Like, I will say, I've been saying this. I'll just say Mario Lemieux so everyone could not at me. Mario Lemieux would be a second line to third line center today. Just saying. Like that, and that's not to trash talk Lemieux.
Wait, now when you say that, are you saying like on like
the current
a team
today
with Crosby?
Yeah.
Because like on a team like Columbus, obviously he's the first line center. But a team with like McDavid or
I'm talking about the
Crosby,
Penguins' current roster.
Yeah,
Let's just say the Penguins'
current
roster. Goalies have become so good now that it's impossible for them. Let me just tell something. Lemieux changed the way the game was played because he learned how to puck handle.
Yeah.
That was it. That he changed the. Imagine Josh disappeared. Imagine hold on, give me 1 second how I set this up. Thank you. Imagine that was so fast. You literally meant 2 seconds. That's crazy.
Sorry. I had to turn off my heat.
I
just didn't think it would. I didn't think it would look good for me to just stand up and walk on over. So
no, you're good. No. So back to my point.
Yeah,
Lemieux changed the game by puck handling. Okay, and that was Mario Lemieux. He played in 2005. That should give you. Okay, that should give you a window of how much the game has changed from he came in the league in 1980, 1978. He came into the league. Okay, he played until 2005. With cancer and back issues, all that. Everyone knows that, but I'm just trying to give you the window of his career. From him coming into the league in 1978, he changed the way the puck handled, everything situational. He was a phenomenal player in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You cannot take that away from Mario Lemieux. But the goalies were not good. Take Andrei Vasilevsky. Put him up against Wayne Gretzky in his prime and Vasilevsky's prime. 9 times out of 10, Vasilevsky's stopping that puck. And that's, once again, not to take away from the talent and how good of a hockey player they were in that system. The goalies just got crazy better. The average goalie size back then was like 6 foot. No, like 5'10", okay? With pillows on their legs, and they only knew how to go on one knee to stop a puck. Now the goalies are like 7 to 8 feet, and they're literally Goliath in the goal. Okay.
Well, who was the guy like the guy we played against Columbus last game. He was like 6'5", like 240.
Sure. Yeah,
Guy was a monster.
Massive. And he literally could just do this, and he's going post to post.
Yeah. Well, and they're flexible.
And they're going all over the crease. No one really lifted the puck back then. No one. So all I'm trying to say, getting back.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going here today.
To the point.
Nice. I like it.
Thanks. ADD is not happening today. Sidney Crosby is that much better than Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, because he could dominate not only in 2005 when goalies were just figuring out the butterfly, but today where he's facing 8 feet goaltenders and he's dominating them that way. And let's talk about just the way he skates. Unheard of. The way he's like his edge work is what they call it. Phenomenal. It's unheard of. His conditioning is unmatched. What about Josh? His 200-foot game. Okay? He goes back and forth. He plays defense, he plays offense, and he's the best at it. Sidney Crosby, you cannot argue that Sidney Crosby is not the greatest hockey player of all time. You can't debate, you can debate that. You can't debate, reverse that. You can't debate Sidney Crosby as the greatest hockey player of all time. You can debate LeBron and Jordan because, what is it, 12 feet? What's the hoop? 16 feet. 10 feet.
I think 10 feet.
10 feet?
16 feet is 10 feet.
I know. I realized that was wild.
You're like overestimating everything. You're calling goaltenders 8 feet tall. You got
imagine a world, Josh, where 8 feet people played.
Well, how about the Geico commercial?
What?
It's as easy as a walrus as a hockey.
Oh, I love that commercial.
Yeah.
And the guy shoots it and it can't even go in.
Come
he goes,
on!
It's a walrus. I love that.
What are we doing?
It's ridiculous. It's such a good. Ben is on a roll right now in the chat now.
He's lighting up the chat, man.
I know.
I just see bing, bing, bing. He's just
thank you, Ben, for pointing out that my theoretically joke of a 8-foot goaltender. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead and agree with Josh on. Yeah, there is no 8-foot goaltender. Yeah, I know that. I was being facetious. But no, you can argue LeBron and Jordan. 10-foot hoop. It's been the same. Yeah, maybe they play different styles, but the game hasn't changed. The game has changed between Wayne Gretzky and Sidney Crosby. Fine. It's debatable that you can argue Jordan and LeBron, but Dad is saying basketball hoop is 12 foot high. I don't know if that's true, Dad. Hold on. How about I just look it up? Hold on.
That's not accurate. Because in Hoosiers, they measure it.
And he says 10 feet is 10 feet. Yeah. Basketball hoop height. Yeah.
It's 10 feet.
It's 10 feet.
It's 10 feet. Because you have
confirmed.
to think
10 feet.
Yeah. Tallest guys in the NBA are like 7'2". So, and they're still jumping.
What about Wembenyama?
He's 7'2".
That's it. He looks 8 foot because he's just so lanky.
Yeah.
He looks like Slenderman. If I was him, I would dress up as Slenderman every single Halloween. Anyway, Johnny Thunder says, at least we didn't lose the game in overtime. That's an improvement. Technically, Johnny, we did lose the game in overtime.
I see what he's saying.
It's just a different format. I know what he's saying. Yeah. We didn't lose it on the 5-minute overtime. 3-on-3.
That 3-on-3 overtime though didn't look good.
No. We were all over the place.
Didn't play well. So but yeah, I see his point though, just because in that 5-minute overtime, we're usually trash. We were tonight, but I just mean that is just
worse.
Yeah,
we turned the puck over. I didn't see Letang out there a lot. He was out there for
the beginning.
2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes.
Come on out. Yeah. You're done. He fumbled the puck. And then I think Sullivan was like, yeah, you're done. You're done for the night, dude. And that shot over the shootout. That was terrible.
I didn't understand the order fully because, to be honest, what is it after the third one? Then it's just sudden death round.
It's 1-1, yeah.
Yeah. So then why not in the fourth round have Malkin? Why were you waiting for the fifth round to have Malkin? That I was so confused.
I don't know.
Not that
because
Malkin scored, but I'm just saying.
Previously in his history has been good in the shootout.
But who would you rather have, Malkin or Letang in a shootout?
Honestly, neither of them, because they both have been stinking it up.
Those are the only two options you have. That's it.
Okay,
you can
so
only
Malkin or Letang.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Malkin, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why are you putting Letang in the first sudden death option?
Why are you putting Rust? I know he scored, but why? Oh no, he didn't score.
No, he didn't.
Or why are you putting Raquel?
They're both typically good shootout.
See?
I shouldn't say shootout.
Rust
guys,
or Raquel,
Josh?
Scorers. Rust or Raquel?
Rust.
All right. So why was Raquel even out there?
He was out there first. Just get him out of the way.
So why even have him though?
Because he's a goal scorer.
Is he though?
Yes.
That makes just a sense of putting Letang out there.
Why did they put Johnny Gaudreau out there first?
Well, first of all, Johnny Gaudreau is their best player.
Okay,
but you never want to.
But that's not our fault. I'm just saying Johnny Gaudreau only has
your question.
No, I think he only has 10 goals this year.
I get
but yet
that.
He's still a goal scorer.
He is their best player.
I hear that.
Well, I'm answering your question. Why was Johnny Gaudreau out there first? He is their best player.
Okay. But we never put Crosby out there first.
No. Why?
Okay.
Because it's like a marathon. He always goes third.
Okay. So, again.
He didn't tonight.
So then, all right, who are you putting in front of him if not... If it's Crosby third, who are you putting out there? It's Rust and Raquel. Name two.
You know who I would put?
You want to put out there that would be better.
Fine. Russ, Smith, Crosby.
Smith's not a bad option.
Yeah, Josh, I'm not an idiot.
I take Smith over Letang.
Yeah, I'm giving you my top three. It would be Rust because he's a wild card. You never know. He could put up a great goal or not. Smith, he's just going to charge in there and shoot. Hopefully it's a goal. But if not, that's okay. That's why you have Russ go first. Then you have Crosby. Look at that goal he scored tonight. Holy crap. The patience on it. And then just so fast the goalie couldn't even. He was like this. This is his glove hand. He was like, oh, it's already in. I couldn't meet it. That's how fast Crosby's shot was. Also, goalie definitely thought he was going 5-0 because that's a Crosby staple. So you saw him getting ready to drop into the butterfly, but Crosby was like, "Go ahead, do it." And he just kind of smoked them. But that's why you have him in the third spot because he could dominate. So that's my
counter to you saying that Gaudreau is their best player, so that's why he's out there first. And my point to that is that Gaudreau is a goal scorer. So that's why he's on their shootout line. And that's what I'm saying in regards to Raquel. He is a goal scorer, so that is why he is on the shootout line. Granted, tonight didn't look pretty. I mean, I know he had a situation in the shootout where he slipped and fell. But, I mean, how about all game? What was up with that ice? Dear God.
A lot of tripping.
Everyone was all over the ice. I didn't get it. What's up? What are you looking at? What do you see?
Dad sent me a text. Except for a game in 1954 between the Milwaukee Hawks and the Minneapolis Lakers, for that one game, and that one game alone, the rims were set at 12 feet. You're proving your own point wrong. It was one game. And also, And that sole reason was for the legend George McCann. Because he was what? Like 1,000 what? Yeah, they were like, this guy's just jumping up and down like crazy.
Yeah, gotta make it higher.
Yeah, I would be like, if he was on the Milwaukee Hawks and I'm like the Lakers coming in, I'm like, we won the rim at 10. I don't care about this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks, Dad. But you're wrong. Okay.
What was that?
I was gonna say something, but nothing came to mind.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's definitely something. Josh, you know how hard it is to talk positively about the Penguins right now? It's hard. It's hard to do this.
It is hard.
But you know what?
You called George George McCann. You were referencing George. You were referencing George Mikan.
Hey, Josh, spell that last name.
Mikan. As 1,000%.
Both ways work.
Not McCann.
Long sounding A. If it was, it could be McCann.
George Mikan.
Okay. Maybe that's how you actually pronounce it, Josh. But if I just saw it and I saw Mike McCann, that's a good guess. I got George right. So. It's a win. This episode sucks. Thank you guys for watching this, by the way. 36 minutes. Thank you for watching this. I gotta wake up so early tomorrow.
Easter. Same.
Easter. Our church is going to 2 services tomorrow. Shout out Lifestone Church in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, plug them.
Going to 2 services.
Have people
for
come
the first time.
You know those C&Es.
Yeah. That's right. Or Creasters, as I like to call them.
Creasters. That's great. Creasters.
Christmas and Easters. People who come just twice a year.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Johnny.
What you saying?
I do not care about Connor McDavid. Let me tell you something. Connor McDavid's going on a hot run. Hopefully, he stops. And then he's going to get lost in history. McDavid will join Orr, Gretzky, Mario for only players with 100 assist season. And the last time it happened was 1990-91 Gretzky. Yeah, and how many cups does McDavid have? Because guess what? At the end of the day, that's all they're going to talk about.
So here's to piggy off of what you were saying before.
Throw that up there.
LeBron has passed Jordan in every statistical category except for rings. Is it like McDavid and Crosby the same thing? McDavid's going to pass all of Crosby's stats. Yeah. But is he ever going to catch up in rings? No. And not that Crosby has the most rings. I'm just using those two as a point of reference.
Yeah.
Because it looks like McDavid's going to blow every statistical record out of the water.
Listen. Without being biased, Crosby's a better 200-foot player than McDavid.
100%.
That's not being biased. Who's faster and who has a better shot? McDavid. Granted. Yeah. But that could only go for so long. Okay? Once upon a time, Crosby was the fastest hockey player in the NHL. Okay?
Yeah, but the shot thing, that's what they used to say about Ovechkin.
I will say Bedard has a better shot than Connor McDavid.
But they said that Ovechkin's shot would go away. And he's essentially 1.5 seasons.
Who said that?
Because you would just take that section away from him. But you still, even when you take that section away from him, he still scores.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
No, listen. Okay,
so all I'm saying is he adapted. He changed his scoring. McDavid's going to do the same. And it's just literally I'm not saying he's going to be the next Ovechkin, but he might just be the next Ovechkin. He won't have everything elite, but he'll have the stats.
Sure. That's fine.
And Crosby will be reverse. He'll have everything elite except for the stats.
Yeah.
Because he's a team guy.
He's a team guy. He's always taken less. He's always wanted to do for the team to win the Stanley Cup. And McDavid, I just don't like him. I don't like his attitude, and I never will.
Can I throw a hypothetical at you?
Yeah, sure.
Because I know you're I'm sorry, I cut you off because you were listing all the things you don't like about McDavid, and I know that list, so I do apologize for cutting it off. But if he wins, let's just say this year, does that change anything for you in terms of like the respect towards him? No? Okay.
He has how many points this season?
I think he's at like 125.
Sure, right? And then he scored the last 3 seasons.
No, like 145.
Yeah.
Because if he got 100 assists.
So he has 130 points at least because he did it for the last 3 seasons. That's great. That's awesome, dude.
It's wild.
Crosby never hit that. But let me tell you something. Where's that cup? Because who cares if you score 130 points? Who cares? The only reason why we care about it is because it matches the guys who have won, like Gretzky, like Lemieux. Now, Lemieux only won 2.
Yeah.
And that is up for debate. Who is the better hockey player, Gretzky or Lemieux? Lemieux got his career cut short in half almost. Because
Gretzky has 4?
Did he win? He won, obviously, in 125. 96 assists. I'm assuming you're referring to McDavid. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying McDavid is not a good hockey player. Like, yeah, he has 4 rings. I'm not saying Connor McDavid is not a good hockey player. He is. He's a phenomenal hockey player. He's a generational talent. Do not get me wrong. I just don't think he's a great hockey player. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's just like Malkin. Great example. Generational talent. Is he a great hockey player? No. I don't think Malkin is as good as what people think he is. Is he a goal scorer? Yes. Is he a playmaker? Yes, absolutely. But he's always going to live in Crosby's shadow. Always. He'll never be outside of that. And I think Connor McDavid, he won't win a cup this year. I don't think he'll win a cup. There's just better teams than the Edmonton Oilers.
This year's his best shot.
That's what they said last year. That's what they said the year before.
Well, because Boston was better last year. Carolina was better last year. Florida was better last year.
Florida's better than them this year. Carolina is better than Edmonton.
I don't really trust the East. Not this year. I don't trust the East. I think it's the West that's going to win it again. Obviously, Vegas won it last year. So, like, it could be a team like Vegas where it's like, I mean, a Vegas team like last year that wasn't technically, the powerhouse of the West, but, makes their way through and wins it.
Sure. But it's not going to be
Nashville.
Edmonton. I don't know about that. But see, what we love about the sport is that anyone could win. Okay? So look at Florida 3 seasons ago. They squeezed in the playoffs. Okay, they took
that was last year.
I thought it was against.
We would have been in Florida's spot.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they went all the way to the Cup.
Yeah, they lost, but
yeah,
but that was our spot. And look, that was the last wild card.
Mm-hmm.
They took it, and they went all the way to the Cup. That's what we love about the sport. So, yeah, could Edmonton win it? Absolutely. They have just enough shot as anyone else. But if I'm trying to be like impartial, I definitely think they will not win the cup. I don't think they have defensive what it takes to stop these powerhouse teams. Let's say they go to the cup. Great. Yeah, and goaltending. They don't have it. Yes, they have goal scoring, but if the other team gets to you first, it's kind of hard to play catch up the entire series. So I think that's Edmonton's problem, So I don't think they're going to win a cup because, as Ray Lewis once said, defense wins championships. So you can have a Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl matchup where they're scoring 125 points a season, but look, they haven't won a cup. They haven't even been into the Stanley Cup in the last 2 seasons. So they're not there. Like Vegas won last year. So Vegas, all right? Basically the town of like misfit toys have won the Stanley Cup. I could go on a rant about how I hate expansions.
I was gonna say you can have an episode all to yourself about the hierarchy of the NHL GOATs, and then again about expansions.
I hate expansions. I think it's so dumb. I'm more apt to just saying a team rebrands and moves to a different place than saying, "Hey, everyone, free pickings for everyone."
Well, what if you do it dumb? What if you do it like how the I mean, I don't know if they still do it this way. Like the NFL, like I remember when like the Houston Texans came in. It's like you just automatically get the first overall pick, and then like that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
You know
Everything
what I think
else
is
you got to build around that.
You know what I think is even better? I have a better idea. Okay, first pick overall that you're guaranteed that. Instead of the expansion draft for the NHL, give it to the AHL. Let them pick young prospects and start with a young team. And if they want to trade those prospects to get veterans, let them. Because I guarantee you teams would rather take prospects than an expansion draft any day.
It's interesting.
What's wrong with that?
It's interesting.
So, because let's take who was our best AHL guy this year? Puustinen?
I think it was Puustinen.
It was. But obviously Puustinen is up in the NHL. So let's pretend Puustinen was still in Wilkes-Barre. You're not allowed to protect anyone in the AHL.
Well, what if it's like protection by calling them up? You know what I mean? If they have like a two-way.
Sure. That's what you would need to do. So
like
on
Puustinen's
draft
up
night,
right now, so you can't touch him.
You can't touch him. He's up in Pittsburgh. So, but if he's there, okay, and he's your best guy, he's gone. There's no protection of him. So that way, this team automatically has young talent, and then they can trade for guys if they want to. Because I think every manager, general manager, would love to come into this league and just go, I wish I had a team of young guys ready to prove themselves for an NHL roster spot.
I don't think so. I disagree with that. I think a GM thrives on the expansion draft of the NHL ready players, because you're getting NHL ready guys who may have been third, fourth liners on another team are now first and second liners on yours.
Mm-hmm.
Different types of hungry, but could get a better result. And I think that's why they do that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because look at the Kraken and the Vegas Golden Knights. They went to the Stanley Cup the first year, which I thought, that's when I immediately was like, yep, hate this. Like I was like, that ruined it. Obviously, it was the first expansion draft.
But that was a good draft, though, by Vegas.
Well, who cares? I mean, they had Marc-Andre Fleury, which pissed me off even more. So the fact that they were like, yeah, we'll just take your goalie, and yeah, we're gonna go to the cup. So thanks for the free goalie. I'm like, well, we didn't get anything. We didn't get anything back. We didn't even get prospects. We didn't even get draft picks. We just got, hey, a communist NHL. What's yours is mine. Let me win a cup. Communist. That just came to mind, Josh. Came to mind.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get canceled
from the communists. I'll take them.
Because someone's just gonna clip you saying communist and just run with it.
Well, the definition of a communist, like, I guess, party
Government?
would be government. Johnny, throw me under the Malkin hate. I'll get there, bud. Don't worry, I'll address you.
All right, go ahead. I don't think you need to explain
communism
where you're going.
Maybe Johnny will need to understand what communism is. Louie underestimates Malkin. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and Malkin Sid got me into hockey because they remind me so much of the old school greats. I don't underestimate Malkin. I estimate Malkin. Okay, that's an office quote. Okay. First of all, Malkin is a great hockey player. He fits our system well. He's always played well, and he complements Sid greatly as a shadow. Sidney Crosby is the overall star in Pittsburgh. Malkin is a great forward. Great forward. He would be on the first line of any other team. I have no doubt about that. The problem with Malkin and the problem of Pens fans that see Malkin and Letang as these untouchable goats, they are touchable because of the mistakes that they make. Now, they cover up those mistakes by making good plays every now and then. Okay? Let's take example Chris Letang today. Or how about this? Let me take the prime example of Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So Malkin can score and everyone freaks out, right? He has a great two-goal game. And we're all like, that's the Malkin we used to know. Malkin fumbles the puck on the blue line. He makes bad passes. He gets turnovers. He decides to not back check or forecheck, and that turns into an odd-man rush, and he's lazy on the line changes. If I just describe that and you're like, well, but it's Malkin. He scores. Yes, he does, and he's a playmaker, and he's beneficial to the Penguins. But everyone seems to not notice the problems of Malkin. Now, granted, Sidney Crosby has a bad night every now and then, but they're not consistent. Crosby's imperfections are not consistent. So much so that I could say, wow, Sid had a bad game today. And then he would be back on track for the next 20. He'd be playing a 200-foot game. He's tape-to-tape passes. He's quick. He's doing back checks. He's passing. He's making sure he's getting off on the line changes good. Great.
Digging for pucks on the board.
He's digging for pucks. He's getting pucks out. He's breaking out of zones better. Malkin has... It's not Malkin hate. I'm just trying to show the world that Malkin has imperfections, and just because he scores every now and then does not cover them up. Because we always talk about on this podcast the eye test and the paper test. Malkin on paper is a generational talent. And it is true. It is like he is. Currently.
Yes.
But on the eye test, he turns the puck over, leads to an on-man rush, they score. Does that impact how you feel about Malkin? Because it should. Because I wouldn't want that guy out there in key moments if he just leads to goals against. That's my problem with Malkin. Same with Letang. I love Letang, and I love Malkin. He's my guy. I love them. They're on my team. But I also am not oblivious to the imperfections and the mistakes that those players make. on a continuous basis. That's the important part. Crosby does not make mistakes as frequently as Malkin and Letang. But we all try to lump their greatness together and say, no. Malkin's so good, just like Crosby. No, Crosby's up here. Then it's Malkin and Letang. Like, let's not pretend that there's a level of greatness that Crosby is above. Because if he has a bad game, I know he's going to be back at it tomorrow. Malkin, I'm not sure. Why? Because he hasn't scored. What was the stat this season? He didn't score in like 14 games or registered a point in 14 games at one time. Sid never has a drought like that. Unless he's injured or he's coming off of something. And he doesn't fumble the puck. And he doesn't make terrible mistakes that leads to odd man rushes. He's better than that. So that's the reason why. I don't underestimate Malkin. I don't. I think he's a phenomenal hockey player. And I would tell anyone that. I would defend Malkin. But I'm a Penguin fan talking to a Penguin fan. I'm a Penguin fan talking to a Penguin fan. If I had to choose between Malkin and Crosby to lead the team, without hesitation, it's Malkin. Johnny, continue. Sorry, just burp. See your point, but go back 25, 30 years, and these guys weren't even playing at 38. Certainly producing Malkin does not age me. Okay, except maybe Messier, who had big years in the late 30s.
Yeah.
No, great point. Great point. But everyone's playing at this nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Is Chris Carter? Is Jeff Carter in this conversation now? Because he's still putting up some points at the age of 52. I don't know how old Jeff Carter is. He's older.
Just a couple years older than Malkin and
so
Crosby.
Would you
he's 38.
Sure, if he's 38, would you put him in this conversation now? Because he's playing at an elite level, technically. He's on line 3 sometimes. Is he at an elite level? Because he's still in the NHL producing at this age?
Joe Thornton, a couple years ago, was 40. He played 40.
I mean, Joe Thornton has put up a lot of points, but that is because of time. But
I mean, even in his like 38, 39, 40, like,
he was producing.
He was producing.
Yeah. So my point is, are we putting what's his name? I want to say Jeff Carter up there too? No. Why? Because we hold Malkin at a higher standard. Why? Because he is getting paid to do what we want him to do, right? We pay him to be an all-star. We pay him and expect him to play at a level like Sidney Crosby. And if he is not, then I think he should be held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's where this so-called hate comes from. Which is not. I'm not getting on Jeff Carter's case because his expectation for me is down here. So if he scores one night, I'm like, yeah, big Jeff Carter. He scored. That's unreal. But Malkin is up here. So if he doesn't score for 14 games, I have a right to say, hey, why aren't you producing? We're paying you to produce. You want to be paid because you produce, but you're not. So there's where the criticism comes in.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing Carter every game, even though he's around the same age. He is still playing. He's on the same team.
He's playing his role. Carter is playing his role.
And that is why I don't knock on Carter. Can he produce more? Absolutely. But that's not where the expectation is. That's not his expectation. His job, just like we talk about this all the time. Why do you think we don't knock Harkins? It's not because we have his uncle on this podcast. It's because he knows his role as a fourth line forward. It's not to score goals. It's to go into the corners, dig the puck out, put it back on the blue line, and get in front of the net. That's his job.
Yeah.
And he does a great job at it. And we always say on this podcast, watch what they do without the puck. Harkins does a great job of getting in the corners, doing breakout passes for the fourth line. That's why Sully likes him. Sully likes his role players. Carter is a great role player. Not only that, he's a great face-off guy. He's second in face-offs behind Sid. You guys need to remember this stuff when we're in the zone after a Crosby shift, and then we put out Carter, and everyone's like, why is Carter out there? Because he wins faceoffs. Notice he'll come right off the ice after he wins the faceoff because his expectation is to win the faceoff and get off. Malkin's expectation is to get on the ice and score. And if he doesn't do that, he should be held responsible because he is telling everyone, pay me because I go out there and produce. That is why there's so much hate. And I don't think it's mean. It's and I don't have a platform to do this. I'm just saying I would do this regardless if I had a podcast or not. One of my friends at church, his favorite player is Malkin over Crosby. Blasphemous, I know. But he says his favorite player is Malkin. And I say, well, Malkin's having a rough year, buddy. And that's what it always is. He's having a rough year.
Yeah.
Now, would I love Malkin from 2012 when Crosby went down and he had that monstrous year? I think it was 2012. Yeah, I would love that Malkin back. But he's older. His expectations have dropped a little bit, but with all the surrounding circumstances with money and contracts, and he wants to be on that second line and he wants to be on that power play 1 unit. Okay, well, that expectation is going to stay up here. And if you don't meet that, I get to have a say. Go ahead.
I think it's also it's twofold. It's like as these players get older, not only Malkin, not only Crosby, any of these players, as they get older, the expectations are going to dip down a little bit. But what changes with our team, it feels like, is because of Crosby's level of play at this age, it is now bringing everyone's expectations for the older guys to step it up. And when you look statistically at Malkin's season, great season for like a 37-year-old forward. Great season. But when you look at it comparatively to how he's playing on the ice to Crosby, it's like, Malkin, like we could have used a little more,
Yeah.
But it's
right.
but again, the expectations, I think he, honestly, aside from the like other little nuances of his play, statistically, I guarantee he met everyone's expectations, if not exceeded it. Because he did statistically have a great year for a 37-year-old. Great year. And
right.
Crosby too. But the way that Crosby played is the reason why everyone is freaking out. Not only freaking out because he's playing so phenomenally, but the fact that we're going to miss the playoffs and waste a great season for a 36-year-old forward. That's why. That's
also
the issue.
Ask yourself, why isn't anyone saying that we should save Malkin? Do you know what I'm saying? Look at everyone's comments.
Because he's number 2.
I understand that. But when Chicago went down, what did they say? Save Kaner and save Taves. But no one's saying save Malkin.
There was a bigger age gap between those two.
Taves, but they were the two guys.
Yeah, but
they were the two guys.
Kane is still like young nowadays young.
Yeah.
For hockey. I mean, what is he, 33? Taves is as old as Crosby.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking 37 compared to 33. Yeah. I'm sure when you're a Blackhawks fan, you're thinking, okay, like save Taves and Kane. But if you can't save both, let us keep at least Kane. Because I guarantee that's exactly what they were saying. Because they know they're not idiots. Chicago's a hockey town. They know, all right, I'm going to take the more skilled forward and the younger forward. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Johnny, also to your point, yeah, Gino has been flirting with going to power play 2 unit, which I think is so much better for him. Not to actually help him. This is actually like, let me take you off the line 1 to help you be the main point guy on power play 2 unit. Because the way Sid plays and the way Malkin play clash. Otherwise, you would see a lot more of Malkin and Crosby on the same time on the ice. You used to, because back when it was like blitzkrieg hockey, it would work. Okay, little history, little knock there.
Just straight line to the goalie.
Go. Well, yeah, it would just be a bomb. What was it, a bum rush? I don't know what it's called.
Bum rush.
Yeah. So it would just come into the zone, shots on net, get the rebound, score. Like that's what it was. So you really didn't have a style when it was like that. When they were growing up, when it was 2005 all the way to 2013, that was the style. That's what you were doing, going up and down the ice, and it worked. Now it's more strategic. You got to get in. You got to spread out the defense. You got to make sure, get a guy in front of the net. You got to make sure, and that was always there. There was always aspects of that in the history of hockey. But
Russ goal, perfect example of that. That's exactly what that was.
Crosby came in, stop, find the open man, got it. And Malkin doesn't really do that. So you got to watch Malkin. Malkin doesn't really do what Crosby does with the strategic passing and stuff like that. What Malkin does is try to go for the finesse. So he'll do a drop pass so he would fake out the defender while he goes in expecting a give and go. So he gets the puck back so he could shoot the puck. Crosby does not care if he shoots or not. That's the difference between Crosby and Malkin. Malkin wants the puck to shoot. Crosby wants to get a goal. Does that make sense? I hope that's coming across. Malkin wants to score a goal. Malkin wants to shoot. Crosby just wants a goal. Not by himself, however means necessary. Mm-hmm. So if you see Crosby diving, slapping the puck out, trying to get where he can to get to the right guy to shoot the puck to score, he will. Malkin will not. When's the last time you saw Malkin dive for the puck to keep it in the zone? I've never seen him do that. And that's not a knock on Malkin. I'm just saying it's 2 different plays, 2 different styles. Malkin wants to be the goal scorer. Crosby wants to be, how do we get the puck in the net? If it's not me, fine. Let me set it up. And I think that's the 2 difference. So that's why I hold Crosby. Go ahead.
That outlet pass in overtime, is that Malkin's fault or is that Raquel's fault?
Outlet pass in overtime.
Yeah. We caught Columbus in the middle of it. If it wasn't overtime, it was late in the third. We caught Columbus in a line change. Raquel got behind the defense and Malkin had the puck. And he slapped past it up to Raquel.
No, that was Crosby.
That was Crosby. It was Crosby that got
behind? Crosby was down low and he passed out to Raquel. It wasn't overtime. And Raquel, it was Malkin? It was Malkin. It was a hard pass and Raquel just couldn't keep it. That's on Raquel.
See, I know. I feel like it's a combination, and I didn't want to dig Malkin for it because Malkin, it was good vision, obviously, first of all, to see him because it wasn't wide open ice, it wasn't it was just Raquel. But
it was a great pass by Malkin.
I felt like it was a little too fast, and Raquel stayed too much into the middle of the ice. Malkin was on the far side of the ice. If Raquel tried to angle it, I think he would have caught up to it. So I agree. A little bit of both. If it wasn't so hard and if Raquel met it at an angle instead of just trying to stay straight, I think they would have connected. But yeah, while you were finishing up with Malkin, I wanted to see your opinion on that.
No. I think it, like you said, there's variables for both. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like Rax. You got to make sure you accept that pass.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, absolutely. If it's bouncing puck, there's nothing he could have done. Like, he's not, he can't stop it when it's bouncing. But it didn't look like it was bouncing. It looked like it was clean. Just a straight shot, and he didn't accept it, right? Like, what is the Mighty Ducks like? It's an egg. So when the puck comes, his stick was just flat hit and it went over, and that's what went to the odd man rush. So if he accepted that pass a lot better, he could have looked to the left, got a pass. Malcolm could have came in. Rax could have went on the other side. Bing, bang, boom. Maybe we got a goal. And that's probably how Malcolm wanted to do it. So I'm not trying to say Malcolm sucks.
Raquel would have just shot.
No, because he had a man in front. He had a man in front of him.
No,
that's what led to the odd man rush.
No, he was behind the defense. It didn't lead to an odd man rush. This was overtime.
I'm blanking on the play.
But you're right.
Doesn't matter.
Raquel had to like kind of reach for it.
I don't know. Josh, it's a loss. All right. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. And we're an hour and 10 into it. So
I know, because half of it was Malkin. Look, Malkin is a great hockey player. He's a phenomenal hockey player, and I'm so blessed that he's on our team. That is, without a doubt, my feelings. I do believe he's a top 100 player. Yeah. He missed it. I do believe that. I think he's one of the greatest hockey players, at least 100 of them, to ever live. But that's the reason why I have such high standards for him. So if Crosby is doing such a great job and Malkin isn't, that's where I get a little mad. But to be fair, Letang has also been sucking. And I do not want Letang and Malkin to suck. I want them to be good because I want to win a Stanley Cup. We signed them because we want to win a cup. So start playing like you want to win a cup. And then all my hate goes away. All right? Jeff Carter was invisible out there today. I never saw him. So if you want me to give him criticism, he didn't do anything today.
I saw him a couple times because the camera zoomed in on him during the face-off circle.
But other than that, I didn't see him. So can't wait for Harkins to come back. But yeah, Josh, let's wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for sticking around.
Yeah, why?
Wow. Yeah, and I genuinely mean that because, man, sometimes this episode stinks.
Yeah, and sometimes we perform like the Penguins.
Yeah, you know what? Mm-hmm. We fumbled the puck on the blue line, but I hope that your expectations are lower than. I hope you don't come in this I can't wait for analytical breakdowns of the Penguins. I hope you don't come in like that. There are some podcasts like that. Go watch them or listen to them. But if you're here for a good time, this is the podcast for you. All right.
Or not so good time.
Yeah, today was not so good time.
We could be Debbie Downers.
Oh, dude. Remember, just one more thing before we go. Remember 2 seasons ago, we just started doing after every game. Oh, no. It was for the playoffs. No, it wasn't. It was the playoffs. So it was 2 seasons ago. It was 2 seasons ago. It was our second year doing it.
Yeah.
And we decided to test out doing an episode after every game of playoffs. Now, we were only there for, was it 6 games because we lost. Games. We lost to the Islanders, or the Rangers. It was the Rangers that year. Because Shesterkin came in the league and he was tearing us up. Shesterkin. I mean, he's still there, but talk about Debbie Downers. When we lost, I think they won their 3rd game, so it wasn't elimination yet. And we went on to the podcast. I was like, this team. I was heartbroken. Now I've learned That, man, games are games, I'm just looking for a playoff push next season. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be a Debbie Downer if we lose the Stanley Cup, but hey, we got a whole year. We got some stuff cooking. But guys, thank you so much for sticking around for an hour listening to us rant about Connor McDavid. Well, at least me rant. Josh doesn't rant. Connor McDavid, Evgeny Malkin, the GOATs of hockey. How things have changed over time. I hope you've learned a little something. I hope you come up with your own opinions. I want to give you guys a space to just trash talk me in the comments like Johnny Thunder. He didn't trash talk me.
No, he was respected.
He was respectful. But I'm just using him as a punching bag. But guys, thank you so much. We are going live after Monday of the New York Rangers. Josh, who's starting in net? Who do you think? Nedeljkovic?
I'll go Ned. Ned one more game.
I'm going Ned one more time too. Yeah. We'll go live after that game. Hopefully it's a lot quicker. Hopefully it's a lot better. Then it's a Tuesday game back to back. So make sure you're there for that. Happy Easter from the Penguins Collective to you guys. Go to church. That's what this whole holiday is about. Go to church, learn about it. We're not going to give a whole sermon on it.
Eat some chocolate bunnies.
Eat some chocolate bunnies. Learn about Jesus. Sounds like a great day to me. We'll see you guys in the next one. As always, Joshua.
Let's go Pens.